I'm Sudha Krishnan. Our top story, the world remembers. Canada joined many countries honoring the soldiers of wars past and of the battles still being fought today. Those who stood on the front lines are now long gone, but every year on the 11th month, on the 11th day, on the 11th hour, Canadians across the country stand in silence to say thank you. The sun was shining brightly this morning as veterans and supporters gathered at the National War Memorial in Ottawa. Thousands attended to honor the contributions of Canadian military servicemen and women. About 100,000 Canadians have died in battle. This year marks the first in which there are no surviving Canadian veterans from the First World War. In a soldier town like Edmonton, Remembrance Day has taken on a deeper meaning. Yellow ribbons dot the road leading up to the garrison. We not only think about the 152 soldiers killed, we're also reminded of a Calgary journalist who died covering the war in Afghanistan. And for many Albertans, this day has become far more personal. Ada Halim now on the services in Edmonton and how Albertans of all faiths are remembering.
Roughly 5,000 Edmontonians showed up to one of the city's largest Remembrance Day services. That's one of the reasons 90-year-old World War II veteran Dennis Gleed feels Remembrance Day is in good hands.
Now the younger generation just begin to realize what people went through back in those days.
I don't know if technology is helping that with Facebook and Twitter and everything, but it does seem more popular, and especially since 10 years ago, I'm really happy to see that.
Sherry Clark is the mother of Private Joel Weeb, who died in June 2007 when his vehicle was struck by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. She laid a wreath today on behalf of all the mothers who have lost children who've served. She appreciates the support in this soldier town.
I like seeing all of the red. I like seeing all of the red poppies. It hugs my heart.
Kuldeep Dhaliwal's family has a proud military history. Her great-great-grandfather died serving in the Second World War, and her father is a retired member of the Indian Army.
We have a moment to remember our person who died for our country, for peace. That's why we live in peace.
Now her 12-year-old boy, Navdeep, is in line with his family's history. He's an Army cadet.
It's the Army, so it's probably in our family, so I just want to keep it going.
In fact, this family isn't alone. The Sikh community has been recognized for their immense contribution to past war efforts. Every year, Edmonton's Headway School recognizes the sacrifice of Canadian soldiers and Indian troops. Sikhs made up roughly 20% of the Indian Army in World War II, while only accounting for 2% of the population. That's what brings Bhupinder Dhaliwal out, to show support for all those who made sacrifices for their country. Her hope is that in the future, more South Asians would do the same.
I'm glad we have something like this to remember our soldiers, and soldiers should be remembered throughout the day, not only just one day today. And I believe that the Sikh soldiers should be included in here as well.
That memory is being honored in different parts of the country. Members of the Sikh community recently gathered in Kitchener, Ontario to honor the service of Sikh men and women of the Canadian Forces. The historic location is the gravesite of Private Bukam Singh, the only military grave of a World War I Sikh soldier in Canada. Abdul Halim, Omni News, Edmonton.
Ceremonies also took place all over Calgary as well, from poppies to white crosses, so many symbols that fill our hearts with gratitude. Now add to that a chance for students to excel thanks to the sacrifices of our troops. Rajiv Diet explains.
Calgary honors Canada's fallen soldiers. Hundreds gathered this morning at the Jubilee Auditorium for a unique memorial. Many are held outside, but this one takes place indoors. It's the only one of its kind in the city.
It's a very focused event.